Chantel here with Two Sisters Homesteading.
DIY dog cookies is one of the easiest things you can make, and you are certain what's going in your ingredients. You know what your dogs are eating, and again, just super easy. So I use things that I always have on stock in my kitchen. I always have oats because they're a great stable grain. And pro tip, I give them to my chickens in the winter when they're molting or when it's just really cold outside. I give them a nice plate of warm oatmeal and just oats cooked in water to keep them producing eggs through the winter when it's cold, and I always get eggs year round. I also always have pumpkin puree because I puree my own pumpkins every fall, and then you can can it. It's just roasted pumpkin that I puree. That's it, nothing else in it. And then you can can it or throw it in the freezer. This has been in the freezer, which is really simple. And then peanut butter. That's it. That's all that goes into these. So we're going to start with 1 1/4 cups of oats that I'm going to put directly into my food processor to grind up really fine. Once you have that mixed nice and fine, it doesn't quite need to be a flour, but you can see it's not really oats anymore either. Just fine enough to mix really easily. You can go ahead and put that in your bowl along with your pumpkin puree and your peanut butter. And I'm doing a 1/2 cup of each of these. So I've got 1 1/4 cup of the oats, and now I've got a 1/2 cup of pumpkin puree and a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. And then I sometimes add an egg. You don't have to, it's not needed, but I have chickens, so I always have eggs. Eggs are good for my dogs. So I'm going to go ahead and add an egg to my mixture just to hold it all together really nicely. And that's it. Mix it really nicely. And that's it. So I've mixed everything up, and you can see it's not quite a consistency that I would roll out into a cookie dough. It's kind of between a cookie dough and a cake batter right now. If you want this to be more of a cookie, add a little more of your oat flour until you get it that right consistency, and then you can roll those out and do those with cookie cutters. I just don't think all the trouble is worth it because my dogs are going to gobble them up no matter what shape they're in. So I'm just going to put some of this in. I've got a pan here with my silicone muffin tins in it. So I've got a pan here, and I'm going to fill these about 1/4 full of this muffin batter. And I'm going to bake these at 350 for about 15 minutes. So as you can see, we've got these pressed down in the muffin tins. Another great tip, drizzle a little olive oil on your fingertips to help press those down without having too much batter stick to your fingers. And then, like I said, these are going to go in the oven at 350 for about 15 minutes. All right, you're about to see what these look like all finished. I call them cookies. As you can see, I've already popped one out here. It's kind of like a muffin. And I have 2 puppies here who I think would love to have one. You have to sit. You're not doing it. You have to sit. Good girl. You have to sit. Good boy.